Hello everybody. This is a video that I wasn't really originally gonna make today, but I had just finished filming, and the video is gonna be it's gonna be showing you some work I did for Blender. But I had just finished filming another video that was gonna be this. It was gonna be about Blender, but in the video I sounded like really tired towards the later end of it, and then my hardware crashed and it just became a whole annoying thing. So I recorded a smaller video, much more compact, that I think I'm gonna do a voiceover in, and it's gonna be showing you kind of the work I did in when it comes to the thumbnail of the upcoming Resident Evil video, which I'm gonna start editing right after this one. This is something to sort of just put out for now. It's for people to watch and start showing what I do Blender wise. And so what you should be seeing here is me selecting the gun and starting to go into edit mode and mess around with it. And the reason I'm doing this is because Leon's gun in game, it's a different model than the one I'm using, and I'm using the Fortnite models because I use Fortnite porting for a lot of my Blender work. And what I should be doing right now is just messing around with the model itself instead of the textures, and that's mostly because I find it easier to just mess around with the model rather than textures, because then you have to open up a bunch of different programs. But in my experience, it's kind of easier to just mess around with the model and tweak it a little bit. Right now I'm adding a few nodes to invert the model colors, turn it to black and white. And then the thing is, the top of Leon's gun, the starting pistol specifically, has like a gray, I don't know what the word is, but it's the slide. It's a gray slide, and that's what I'm doing right now. So yeah, that's the thumbnail right there, as you can see. And right now I'm just tweaking with the lights, seeing how it looks. And after this, I'm going to show you how I did the title, because I went all over the internet trying to find a PNG of just Resident Evil 4, and I couldn't. So I had to make my own, and what I did was that I took an image, turned it black and white, and then I used the math node to subtract the black from the image. And then what I did to add the color back on top of it was that I plugged it, I think it was into the emission node. It should pop up here in a bit. I'm getting a little bit ahead of my own footage, but I popped it into the emission node so that it wouldn't be affected by the light of the scene. And that was because I don't have Photoshop. I do everything in Blender and Google Slides, because that's the easiest thing that lets me move stuff around and change things, just add text over or something. So a lot of the stuff is just screenshots and downloading off the internet and then changing it in Blender or in Google Slides, just so that it looks nice. And when it comes to your thumbnail, you always want to make it kind of pop out a little bit and grab your attention. So right here you'll see that I'm noticing that the text is a little bit too dark, and it blends into the background that I'm using. So what I did was that I took what I already had and I start cutting into it using subdivisions. And after I turn on base attributes, because that is pretty important if you're going to be doing something like that, so that you don't have to adjust the faces in the UV editor. You turn it on and it kind of just adjusts it for you automatically, which is super handy when you're messing around with textures and you don't want to redo all the faces and move them around and try and figure out why it looks weird. So I start cutting into it, and right here I used the knife tool to cut out the little piece of the V that I couldn't get out just by sliding. And then I just turned on the objects, because all I did was duplicate it and then just start cutting into it. And after that I rendered it again, and then just took it, put it in smack down in the middle right there. Yeah. After that, I took the image. Well, first I have to take a screenshot of it. I haven't done it yet. On my screen, at least. Okay, here it is. First, I take a screenshot of it. Again, in Google Slides. I don't have Photoshop, so this is much more easier for me. And yeah, that's how I made the thumbnail, is messing around with Blender and using nodes. And it's a process. Hopefully my voiceover adds on to this so that it makes it a little bit easier to follow. Everything is sped up so that it's not that long of a video. But yeah, that's how I changed the gun to, because originally it was a little bit blue on the handle and it was a bunch of other stuff. And what I did was I just changed it to look a little bit more like Leon's. And that's how I did the title, because I couldn't find a PNG. Like, I searched everywhere, couldn't find a single one that looked decent. So I kind of mimicked the Resident Evil 2 and 3 title screen so that it pops out and looks nice. But yeah, that's the video. That's, in the future I can get into other Blender projects. Like, I do other stuff on Instagram where I upload art. Like the other day I uploaded like a Batman art, and I can start commentating over recordings of that, and it could be something I upload into this channel. So if that is something that interests you, go ahead and click subscribe, and I'll be releasing the Resident Evil video either later today or tomorrow, because if it gets too late, then I don't want to upload it, because then it's not going to get like a lot of traffic. I'd rather upload it noon tomorrow, but I'll be working on that this evening. But yeah, it's the video.